Hi, it's Jess here from Nigezza Creates. Thank you for joining me today. So we're going to do some stamping. I've picked out floral sets. I'm doing this for a blog hop and the theme is floral. And I finally got around to sorting out my stamp sets for, after the new catalogue was released, and sorted out which ones were retired and that, and I've got a few. So all of these are current stamp sets available in my shop, and I want to do a bit of stamping, bit inspired by Ruth from Artful Stamping. She does amazing stamping one sheet wonders, and I thought I'd have a go at it, going vintage. So of course, so I'm gonna put those to one side now. So I picked out some neutrals. So I've got Early Espresso and Cum Cake, and Soft Suede, my favourite brown, has retired, and Pecan Pie is its replacement. I mean, it's a bit different, but I thought I'd give it a go. And in the new in colours, we have Copper Clay, which is a new brown. So I thought I'd give them a whirl. I've only taken the packet off and put the name sticker on. I've not stamped them. So I have a tray here full of stamps. So yeah, I just thought I'd give it a whirl. Now I've just watched one of hers, which has inspired me. So yeah, I'm gonna kind of go with it. So I'm gonna use this from Artistically Inked. I like it. I've used it recently to make paper look old, and I thought that would be a nice sort of backgroundy base. I think I'm gonna go crumb cake with it. And the one that I watched Ruth do was she kind of clustered, a bit like wallpaper, which is kind of the look I sort of thought I'd go with. And then I can then make tags, journaling cards, whatever out of it. Or if you're a card maker, make some cards. There we go. Nice little, she used like a brush stroke. I'm not doing the same. I'm just doing a bit of my own thing. Yeah, that'll do. Might have one coming off the edge there. Maybe should have something underneath this, but I haven't got something underneath this, and that's just the way I'm rolling. Yeah, I'm not going to put anything in the middle there because I think that will fill up. Right, so that is the first thing. And probably what caught my eye was she then used a bit of script. So I'm actually started off sharing stamp blocks, and I'm not now. So I'm gonna use Early Espresso, a little bit of dark in the background. I'll do a little bit of script around that. So far, floral theme, done nothing floral. There we go. That one's not very straight, but I don't think you'll notice by the time I'm finished. We won't actually notice. There we go. Might just stick a bit up there and a bit down there, and I might go in the middle-ish with a bit of that, and I might go in the middle-ish with a bit of that. Yeah. Just because I felt that middle Needed something. Right, copper clay. Should I do a copper clay next? Dun, dun, dun. Yeah, I might do this big one. No idea what this will look like. Oh, it's a bit different. So this is an in colour. There are 5 new in colours. I only bought 2. I bought this one and Pebbled Bath. They are the 2 that I bought. There is a mauvey colour one. It's called something mauve. Can't remember the names. What am I like? And there's boho blue. And there's... I'm going to leave that at that, I think. I'm going to come in with something smaller. The other ones. And then there's a wheat, something wheat. Looks a little bit like... I think it looks a little bit like baby poo. You know, when your babies are just on milk. That's what it makes me think of, I have to say. But I do think it's got a bit of a vintage vibe to it. So I've got a project in my head, so I may well do something with it. Right, we still haven't got any floral on there really, have we? Right, so now pecan pie. So this is the replacement for my beloved. Should I do that? Soft suede. So I'm gonna go on there. So we've finally got a bit of floral going on. I'm liking this colour. There we go. Right. I'm now wanting I think I want to come in with this one. So let's come back with crumb cake. I'm going to stick with the 4 colours. I'm having a bit of that going on there. I think it complements, now I've seen them stamped together, the pecan pie really, really well. I am resisting saying pecan pie the way I want to say it. In our house, it's pecan pie. And if you've ever seen the film When Harry Met Sally, you will understand. Pecan pie. I would particularly like to partake in your pecan pie. Anyway, that's just our house. There, so that's building up. Do I want to put some more on? Any more of these florals? I've got like so many in here. I like that one. I could do a stamp off of some. So we'll need a bit of stamping off paper to stamp off. There we go, bit of stamping off paper. Let's stamp off copper clay. Yeah. Liking that. Might put it somewhere different there. Doesn't have to be in the same place, does it? I'll say I'm always fascinated by Ruth's stamping, and thought if I tried it, it would look like an almighty mess. It may well yet, but I'm giving it a go. Yeah, liking a bit of that. There is that one. We might try that one. Might try that one with early espresso. Stamped off again.
Hello. Oh, sorry. Didn't realise you were recording.
Sorry, a little bit hiatus there. I was interrupted. Right, so I was just putting this in. Yeah. Just give a little bit of darkness in the background, like that. And I'm thinking, always dangerous. So I'm gonna add dots and some blending. So I've got ink splodges, dots, and more dots. Let's put these dots on and that's where we're at now. So I'm not going to use that colour for dottage. Crumb cake and pecan pie, I think. Although we've got 3, so maybe I will come in with a bit of that. So splodging's often quite a dark. So if it's an ink splot, if it's an ink splot, I just imagine like. So I might put some splodging around. So maybe I will do this for the splodges, but I might stamp them off. Let me just have a little look. 1, 2, 3. Yeah. So we'll stamp off and then we'll go 1, 2, maybe a bit up there, 3. Yeah. Liking what that adds. Yep. So then we'll come in with pecan pie, pecan pie. And we'll have a bit of that going on. Being completely random and not thinking of this at all. Okay, and then lastly, do I want to do copper clay? No, I'm going to do crumb cake. I think the copper clay is too bright, and I think there's enough of that on there. So now we'll do some more random dots. Although these are less random, I'm kind of looking at where there's no stamping. And I'm covering that. Yeah, liking that. Right, now my blending brush, let's do a little bit of colour around this, starting with the lightest first, and then I might build up some colour. Ruth did a thing where she like swooshed it on. I'm not going to do that. I'm not brave enough, not done enough of these to do that. Going to come in with some pecan pie. Oh, totally swooshed that. Well, without meaning to, I did add a bit of a swooshy effect there. It's because it's a new juicy ink pad. Oh, jazz. That is not what I wanted. Not getting that up anytime soon. Never mind, I might end up. Why are you putting more ink on it? There we go. Right, apart from slight disaster, I think we're all right. Just putting my hand there. I think that is okay. I'm gonna take early espresso and I'm gonna stamp something on there that I haven't actually used. So I'm gonna just to disguise that a little bit. I think when it's cut up, I think that will now be okay. So now I'm going to think about cutting it up. They're kind of all going a bit that way. I often, when I got a piece of A4, I cut a 2-inch strip off the side, but they're going to end up being, although they could be pocket fronts, couldn't they? It could be. I might leave that and then cut. I might cut down there, and then we'll have these as pocket fronts. Because I kind of forget about doing pocket fronts. So I usually go about 2 inches. And then that's a good height then. 2 inches is a good height for pockets. And then I'm just going to cut it in half. Although, if it's on the side if it's the full length of a page, about there. So that would be a pocket front. Yeah, that's what you just done. So that's quite a nice pocket front, that, I think. Yeah. And then these, so cut in half. So you could cut these up for card fronts. Where's the half again? My little mark where it's half again has gone. So it's down here, I think. Yeah. Yeah, 2 3/7. Did I say 2 3/7? I don't know where I got that from. 2 7/8. Gosh. Yeah. Okay. So doing that. And then I want to add something to these. Now there are dies that go with some of these sets. What have we got? I have just put up on the shelf all my carrying over dies. So that's the one with Lost Prints. That's the one. And there's those. Right, so I am thinking I might cut out some of these dies, some of the floral bits, to add to the front of the tags, and I think a little bit of a border to go on the tops of these. So I'm going to get those cut out and come back to you. So I've die cut them all out, and I kind of had a little play with how they might look. And I just happen to have on my desk these little corners. These is what I get when I use my very best corner punch to make tag tops. And I thought, oh, they would look cool, wouldn't they? On the corners, to make it like a journaling card instead of or a tag without a top, whatever. So I quite like that, and I thought they look good on the corner of the pockets as well. And then I thought, I want to do something with these die cuts because they're just crumb cake. And I thought, well, they do need a little bit of grunging up, don't they? So I thought I might emboss. So I've got Time Worn. I've got the bark. I don't think it's called that. Timber, I think it's called. And I've got the painted doodah one. They're a bit tall for that one. but it'd be actually all right for these. Now I thought I might emboss these die cuts with the tree bark. It kind of goes with the fact that they're sort of foliage. Thought that might be a nice effect. So I might, oh, that moved. So I thought, yeah, I thought I might run those through the embossing folder, and I did think that I might do the background as well, although they're a little bit taller than 6 inches. So that's not going to work. Maybe not. But I might do the pockets. The pockets are shorter. I might run these pockets through the type worn. Give them a bit of an effect. So I'm going to get those embossed and then we'll see how they look. Okay, so I've done the embossing on these and I just think they give a nice little something extra. I will be bringing out that sort of texture with some ink, and then this one looks cool. And so to save you the agonizing of me working things out, I have already decorated one of each. So this would be a page in a journal, and that would be the pocket on a page. So I'm quite pleased with how that's turned out. And then I did a tag. So I just added some music paper and a word, and that's what the tag looks like. So that could go in the pocket, although I think it's a little bit too matchy, but there, that's one idea. And then I left that one square and just put the corners on it, but you know, decorated in the same sort of way. And then I just put a bit of sort of stamping and ink in, although I didn't do ink on that one actually, just to finish it off and make it a little bit more older. It has been my intention to make a journal where I stamp and don't use any paper, so I could be using that for this. So let's do this. So I just went over a little bit with my blending brush to pick up the raised bits on the embossing folder. Really like the way that's turned out. And then we're gonna just put a little bit of ink in, then just gonna dip it in pecan pie. Just to pick up the grain in the from the embossing folder. So I'm going to do all of those. Okay. The only one that I didn't emboss was the sort of semicircular ones, because they've already got detail in there on the leaves, so I didn't want to. I thought that looked nice, so I didn't do any more of that. So just brush a bit on. It doesn't have to be masses, it's just giving a hint there. Oh, and that one. that's all that. And then I just got a little sponge dauber and ink around the edges. Because everything's got to be inked within an inch of its life. Yeah, I'll make this the square one. I mean, I could have cut these tags a little bit smaller so they would have fitted the embossing folder. I could quite easily have done that. I didn't. I could have done. There we go. This one, I'm going to make the tag. So I'm going to get my punch. And punch the hole in the top. Eyeball in for the centre. That'll do nicely. And that's how I get my little corners. I keep them in a little pot, so that's where they all came from. Because they do make nice corners. So I keep them all there. Very, very useful. So let's ink round them for me tag. Think it just finishes the bottom off quite nicely. And then we need 4 for the square one. Oh. And they're not identical, so it's about making sure you've got them the right way round. Yep, that's going to be like that. And then I'm going to just do them on the bottom of the pocket. And I want to go around the edges of this. Just trying to decide if there was a right and a wrong side. I think there is, but I've gone for this way. I do like to have edgings on pockets. I just think they finish them off nicely. So that is that prep work. So we'll get them glued down in place. I always find when I'm making like this that once I've decided on a sort of a pattern, then they come together nice and easy. And I say I added some music paper, some vintage music paper, because it wouldn't be me. Wouldn't be me if I didn't add something like that. Oops. these in place. And of course, you could do these with different colours. So I could have stamped different colours. So if I've got a more colourful thing going on, I could have done that. I do like this square one. You can add a tab if you want to the top. I'll just leave it rectangular. And then the last two. Right, now we can finish this one off quite easily. So all I did for the pocket was I took a bit of this and a bit of this and then added a word. So I think I'm just gonna, I've got a whole one that I can use, but actually I'm just gonna snip, follow the leaf shape around. Didn't really follow the leaf shape around very well there, but I don't think you notice. So stick that there, stick that there, and then we'll have a little word coming along there. I'll sort the words out afterwards, because I took the words from the stamp sets that I've used, which is a good source. But I might have used all the words that I want to use, so I might resort to my favourite retired stamp set for this job. There we go. That's that done. got the pocket front done, just needing a word there on that one. And then we've got these two, which more or less did the same. So I took some music paper. I cut one up, but I don't know where it is. So it's a bit busier there, so we'll use this busy one. So we'll take that. Take that off there. Just randomly rip. That's quite big, and it covers that splodge up, which is where I was, that was what my intent was. Actually, maybe I'll just use that bit there. There we go. And then we can do that and that. Oh, that was very loud, Jez. Very loud message coming through there. What's that? I'm thinking I didn't do another curvy one. Let's have a bit of that. I was going for this sort of thicker one to help cover that splodge a bit. There. That'll work very nicely, so I don't need that. Save that for another project. So what we just need, a bit of inking on this. It is strange working with a different colour. After working with soft suede for so long, it is yeah, it's not a bad thing. Just takes some getting used to. I mean, obviously I have 2 soft suede ink pads, and I've got a full and a probably 3/4 full re-inker, so soft suede's not going anywhere. I just wanted to try the new colours, so they're just an addition to my palette, not instead of. Right, so that's that done there. So ribbon for the top. This ribbon's retired, but I quite liked it. It's the one that came in a duo pack with the old olive. It was on clearance, or was it on last chance? Can't remember. So having a bit of this. Where's my scissors? And I do like to just grunge it up a little bit. Oh, on the backs. Right, that's the thing I haven't done. So I just took so this is the one from Artistically Inked. I've done this before. There might be areas on the front where I think might add a bit. Looks a little bit like aged paper going on there. And then we need a little bit of ink in. Might use crumb cake actually. It's not quite so dark. Obviously there's a bit of the darker ink on there. Don't normally use just cream card like that. Quite like it. There we go. So now we can put that piece of ribbon in. Poke it through the hole. And then the last thing we need is, don't pull it too tight because you'll rip it. I've done that before. There we go. Like so. So now we just need some words. Have a word. I say I used my stamp sets, got happy thoughts, kindness, and amazing. But okay, so there, I like that. So I just found some words I had in a kit that I've been using and I quite liked it. So that's what I'm going for. So I'm just going to put this together and I will show you. So you can see it's slightly different colour because I've inked it. But I liked it. But you could do what I did on the others. Isolated some words from some of the sentiments and add them. And the other idea I had for this was to add a bit of ribbon at the top. So that's what I'm going to do. Grunge it up a little bit. We need to grunge both sides because we will see both sides. And then I'm just going to put it on the top. I'm going to get my little tiny attacher. And I'm going to do it twice and just stick that on the top like so. I don't mind that on the back. You could stick something on there if you didn't like it. Going to trim it down. There we go. I like it with that on. So those little bits are not going to be okay. Let's just get another little. So we need another bit of ribbon for that. Get rid of the mess on my desk. Don't need that. And I have another one for that one. There. I think that's cool. Right, so I just went around with this. Could probably do dipping it in the ink again. So dreams, moments and memories. I think they're good prompt words for journaling. Remembering a moment, a memory, and maybe a dream for the future. We all have little dreams, don't we? For different things. I dreamed about crafting for a living, and I am. Well, maybe a living is stretching it. Making a living, but I am making myself happy, and I'm lucky to not need too much. I'd like a bit more, but we're all right. So there we go. So let's just stick these down and then we'll be done. I don't know how long I've been. I did stop in the middle where I stopped. Stop filming, so that kind of makes me lose track of how long I've been. But I am sure that I have done something very different to Verity, Jill and Heather in the blog hop. But I will link to my blog down below and then you can go and check out their floral. Not a lot of floral. Not a lot of floral really when I'm looking at it. The flowers are there, but for floral for me that does include foliage. So, and I'm sure I'll probably do videos as well. If not today, then later. So there we go. We are done. My floral themed blog hop. So I stamped a one sheet wonder with lots and lots of stamps, taking inspiration from Ruth from The Artful Stamper, and I have made some tags. They're not all getting in here, are they? There we go. Some tags and some pocket fronts. So hope you enjoyed that. Hope that give you some ideas of what you can do. I think lots of people have stamps and I think I don't know what to do with them. Well, there you go, giving you an idea. Okay, don't forget to like and subscribe. Don't forget to go and check out my blog and go and check what Heather Verity and Jill have made, and I'll link down below to all these products that I've used if you wish to purchase any of them, and then pop over to my shop. Yeah, so see you all again soon. Bye for now.